Okay, strap in everyone, because today we are diving headfirst into the future of work with Microsoft 365 Copilot Wave 2. If you thought the last 18 months were a whirlwind of AI advancements, well, hold on to your hats because this is next level.
It really does feel like a fundamental shift, don't you think? And we're not just talking about a few new bells and whistles here. Wave 2 has the potential to completely change how we interact with technology at work.
Right. It's like Microsoft took everything they learned from the first wave of Copilot and said, hold my coffee, watch this.
Mm.
And to help us unpack all of this, we've got a treasure trove of information to dive into, including, of course, insights straight from Microsoft's big September 2024 event. Plus, we've got some additional analysis to really try to make sense of it all.
The goal here is to give you the knowledge to not just understand these advancements, but to actually start envisioning how you can leverage them in your own work life.
Exactly. Because what good is cool new tech if we don't know how to use it? Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's do a quick recap for anyone who needs a refresher. Microsoft 365 Copilot, at its core, is like having an AI assistant, integrated into all the Microsoft Office apps you already use every day. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, the whole nine yards.
And people are clearly embracing it. Microsoft has reported a near doubling of daily Copilot users every single quarter for the past 18 months. That kind of adoption rate is unheard of. It really speaks to the huge appetite for tools that can help us navigate this ever-growing deluge of information we face every day.
It's true. It's like we're all drowning in data these days, and Copilot's throwing us a life preserver.
Mm.
And Microsoft seems to be positioning Copilot as the UI for AI, essentially breaking down the walls between all our different tools and data silos. It's the glue that binds everything together.
Exactly. And that brings us to Wave 2, where Microsoft is taking this concept of a unified AI-powered workspace even further, with three major pillars. First up is they are merging the vastness of the internet, your own personal work data, and this fascinating new concept called Pages into a single system for knowledge work.
Okay, let's talk about Pages for a second, because I'll admit, I'm super intrigued. It sounds kind of like a digital workspace, but what does that actually mean?
So picture this. Pages is a dynamic digital canvas where you can effortlessly pull in information from the web, like imagine a virtual whiteboard on steroids. You can brainstorm and collaborate with colleagues in real time, and then seamlessly transition from research to proposal building, all within this one constantly evolving space. It's about having all the information you need right at your fingertips and then being able to manipulate it in a way that mirrors your thought process.
It's like that moment when you're surrounded by sticky notes and whiteboards trying to wrangle a complex idea. But with Pages, it's all digital and supercharged by AI. Did I get that right?
You absolutely nailed it. And fueling this free-flowing exchange of information is another groundbreaking feature in Wave 2, BizChat. Now, BizChat is like your personal data whisperer. Imagine being able to have a conversation with all of your data, from old project files buried in shared drives to meeting recordings from a year ago, and actually get meaningful insights from it.
Okay, you're speaking my language. No more digging through endless email chains or trying to decipher meeting notes from 6 months ago. Tell me more.
Think of it this way. BizChat transforms all of your data, whether it lives online or within your company's servers, into a readily accessible and, most importantly, usable asset. It's like having a searchable index of all your past work, readily available at a moment's notice.
So I could literally ask BizChat to pull insights from a meeting transcript from last year, or even analyze trends in a massive spreadsheet without having to be a data analysis whiz myself.
Precisely. It's about breaking down those barriers between us and our data, and making information work smarter, not harder for us.
This is already blowing my mind, and we haven't even gotten to the specific app integrations yet. I can only imagine how powerful these core concepts, Pages and BizChat, become when you unleash them within the tools we use every single day.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where things get really interesting. Microsoft has woven Copilot deeply into the fabric of their most popular apps. Let's start with the workhorse of the office, Excel.
Okay, Excel, and I have a love-hate relationship. It's incredibly powerful, but sometimes it feels like I need a degree in rocket science just to use it. How is Copilot changing the game there?
Get ready to say goodbye to those tedious formulas and late nights wrestling with pivot tables. Copilot in Excel is like having a data analyst embedded right there in your spreadsheet. It can analyze massive data sets, uncover hidden patterns, and even generate stunning visualizations for you, all without having to leave that familiar Excel interface.
Wow, it's like having an expert looking over your shoulder, guiding you through the analysis process.
Exactly, but it gets even better. Remember how we talked about BizChat making all your data more accessible? Well, imagine combining that with Excel's analytical power.
Okay, now you're just showing off. But seriously, paint me a picture. What kind of magic can I work with, that kind of combo?
Let's say you're trying to understand sales trends over the past 5 years. You could ask BizChat to pull up all relevant sales data, feed that directly into Excel, and then ask Copilot to identify seasonal patterns, or even predict future performance based on historical data.
Hold on. I need to pick my jaw up off the floor. This is incredible. It's like having a crystal ball for your business data.
And here's the kicker. Even if you don't speak a lick of coding, Copilot in Excel can now write and even interpret Python code for you. So you can tap into the power of advanced analytics and automation without having to become a coding whiz yourself. Seriously, that's a game changer. So much for my plans to finally learn Python. Copilot's got me covered. Okay, Excel just got a whole lot less intimidating. But what about PowerPoint? We've all sat through our fair share of snooze-worthy presentations. Can Copilot work its magic there too?
Oh, absolutely. Remember death by PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Yeah, Copilot is here to banish that forever. They've introduced something called the Narrative Builder, and it's about to revolutionize the way we create presentations.
Okay, you've got my attention. Tell me more.
Imagine this. You tell Copilot the key message or story you want to convey, maybe give it some background info or source material, and then, bam, it helps you craft a compelling narrative structure, suggests relevant visuals. It even ensures everything is on brand and visually consistent. It's like having a team of designers and storytellers at your beck and call.
So I can finally say goodbye to those late-night scrambles, desperately searching for the perfect image, or trying to make my slides look somewhat cohesive. Exactly. It takes care of all the heavy lifting, the design, the formatting, even suggesting transitions and animations to keep your audience engaged. So you can focus on what truly matters, your content and delivery.
It's like having a personal presentation coach right there in PowerPoint. Now, we can't talk about Microsoft 365 without addressing the elephant in the room. The one app we all love to hate, Outlook.
Outlook, the eternal source of both productivity and endless frustration. But don't worry, Copilot is swooping in to save the day there too, with a feature that just might spark joy in even the most overflowing inbox. Prioritize my inbox.
Okay, that name alone is music to my ears. So how does Copilot decide what's actually important in that sea of emails? Because let's be real, those spam filters aren't always so reliable.
This is where the AI magic really comes into play. Instead of just relying on keywords or sender addresses, Copilot analyzes your emails in context. It considers things like who your manager is, what projects you're actively working on, even looming deadlines. And it learns to recognize patterns based on your unique work style and priorities.
It's like having a personal assistant who not only knows your schedule like the back of their hand, but also understands the nuances of your work relationships and can anticipate your needs before you even articulate them.
You've got it. And that's not all. Imagine being able to draft emails on the go, even on your phone, with Copilot suggesting responses, refining the tone to match the recipient, and even pulling in specific details or attachments based on your instructions.
Okay, that would be life-changing. Because let's be honest, trying to craft a professional email on my phone usually ends in a string of typos and awkward autocorrect fails. This is huge. Now, before we move on, I know Copilot's reach extends beyond just these core Office apps. We've heard whispers of its integration into Teams, OneDrive, and even Word.
You're right, Microsoft is weaving Copilot's magic across its entire suite. In Teams, Copilot acts like a superpowered note-taker and meeting facilitator. It can analyze those long, winding conversations, pull out key questions or action items, and even help you follow up on anything that might have been missed.
No more frantically scrolling through chat logs trying to remember who said what. I love it.
And then there's OneDrive, where Copilot transforms into a search ninja. It's not just about finding files anymore, it's about understanding what's inside them. Need to compare two versions of a document. Copilot can summarize the key differences for you without you even having to open them.
Talk about a time saver.
Yeah.
And what about Word? Any exciting developments on the writing front?
Oh, absolutely. Word is where Copilot's writing assistance really shines. Imagine having a research assistant who can instantly pull up all the background information you need to craft the perfect document.
Okay, I'm officially sold. This is all incredibly impressive. But I have to admit, the part I'm most excited about is the introduction of Copilot agents. This is where the whole concept of AI as a tree collaborative partner starts to feel tangible.
I completely agree. Copilot agents represent a whole new level of AI integration in the workplace. Imagine having your own personal army of intelligent assistants, each with their own set of skills, ready to tackle tasks, automate processes, and even interact with external systems on your behalf, all while respecting your organization's security protocols.
It sounds almost too good to be true. Give us some real-world examples. How would these agents actually work in practice?
Let's say you work in IT support. Instead of spending hours troubleshooting a technical issue, you could simply ask your Copilot agent for assistance. This agent, armed with the collective knowledge of your company's entire IT infrastructure, could analyze the problem, identify solutions, and even guide you or the user through the necessary steps to resolve it.
So it's like having an entire IT department at your fingertips.
Exactly. And these agents aren't just limited to technical support. Imagine an agent that manages your travel arrangements, handling everything from booking flights and hotels to creating detailed itineraries, and even factoring in your preferences and loyalty programs. Or an agent that automates your expense reports, scanning receipts, categorizing transactions, and ensuring compliance with company policies.
Okay, now we're talking about some serious productivity gains.
Absolutely. And the best part is that Microsoft has made it incredibly easy to create and deploy these agents. They've democratized the process, giving even non-technical users the power to build and customize their own agents using a simple, intuitive interface.
So you don't need to be a coding whiz to start automating your work life.
Not at all.
This is seriously impressive stuff. But it does make you wonder, where does this leave us? If we've got AI taking care of travel arrangements, expense reports, and even complex technical troubleshooting, what's left for humans to do?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I think it goes beyond just worrying about AI replacing jobs. It's about fundamentally rethinking our relationship with technology at work.
Right. It's not about man versus machine. It's about figuring out how to leverage these incredibly powerful AI tools to augment our own abilities and ultimately make our work lives better.
Exactly. And that requires a shift in mindset. Instead of fearing change, we need to embrace it. Instead of seeing AI as a threat, we need to see it as an opportunity.
So instead of clinging to our old ways of working, we need to be open to completely new approaches, new workflows, new ways of thinking about problems.
Precisely. And that's where I think companies like EAG Services come in. They're not just selling software. They're providing the expertise and guidance to help businesses navigate this transition to an AI-powered workplace.
Right. They're like the Sherpas guiding us up the AI mountain.
Yeah.
From what I understand, EAG Services is already deeply involved in the Copilot ecosystem, offering training, implementation support, and even custom agent development.
Absolutely. They're helping businesses understand not just what Copilot can do, but how to actually implement it effectively within their existing workflows, and even build out custom solutions tailored to their specific needs.
So it sounds like the future of work isn't something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced, something to be excited about.
Exactly. It's a future where we're empowered by AI, where we're freed from the drudgery of repetitive tasks, and able to focus on more creative, strategic, and ultimately fulfilling work.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the world of Microsoft 365 Copilot Wave 2. I don't know about you, but I'm walking away with a whole new perspective on the future of work.
Me too. And I think the key takeaway here is that we're still in the very early stages of this AI revolution. The tools we've discussed today are just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine what the workplace of tomorrow will look like as these technologies continue to evolve and become even more deeply integrated into our work lives.
It's both exciting and a little bit daunting, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's the beauty of it. We have the opportunity to shape this future, to define what it means to work alongside AI in a way that benefits everyone.
And on that note, I think it's time for us to sign off. But before we do, I have one final thought for our listeners. As we move into this uncharted territory of AI-powered work, the most important skill you can cultivate is adaptability. Be curious, be open to new ways of working, and never stop learning. Because the future of work belongs to those who are willing to embrace the unknown.
I couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us on this exciting journey into the future of work. Until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.